governments can begin to look ahead. So that is the purpose of the stability. We cannot begin to look ahead of 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And that is where we are now in terms of policy. What do we now do with this stability? That's the most critical question for Africa today.
In terms of policy orientation, first and foremost, we need to ensure macroeconomic stability. And that will require policy consistency between monetary policy and fiscal policy. A big chunk of the reason for the inflation is actually on the supply side. It's a cost-push inflation. We know that on the agriculture side, production challenges, insecurity issues, that's a fiscal policy issue. So if fiscal policy is not dealing with that, and fiscal policy is not dealing with, we've taken away subsidy, which is a fiscal policy issue, how are we dealing with the effects of, that pass-through high cost to the fuel pumps and then for transportation costs? There's so much that fiscal policy has to do to complement the work of monetary policy. If we don't do that, our result becomes ineffective. So having achieved macroeconomic stability, now you have to implement growth policies. One of such is capital expenditures on infrastructure. All right, so we know that we have significant road infrastructure deficit. We need to bridge the gap. If you're going to have intra-African trade, you cannot have intra-African trade without transportation. Policies geared towards growth in terms of infrastructure. Power is one key thing. When I look at Nigeria, I don't see the reason why power should be a problem. We have a lot of gas, we have water, hydro is there. There are too many ways of generating power that I don't see the reason why power should be a problem, because if Nigeria gets its power right, gets its infrastructure deficit gap reduced, it actually becomes the most favorable destination for investment and accessing the rest of Africa. If we do all these major investment, macroeconomic stability, infrastructure issues, human capital, those three pillars alone will be transformational for us as a region. The exchange rate regime is extremely important. There's no African economy that can have a stable macroeconomy without having a stable foreign exchange market. Exchange rate stability is more important in African context than the interest rate. Sometimes we take conventional orthodox Western economic policies without making sure that it's tailor-measured for our own use.